Hi guys, it's Dato Michael over here and I'm with
Melvin, and I'm an investor myself for the past 4 years thanks to Dato Michael, and now I've gained a lot of property thanks to him.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about property investment. If you don't know me, I've been an investor for the past 15 over years. Alright, we've done a lot of properties over here. Melvin himself is a professional already and we have done a lot of investments. And this is one of the things what we're going to do here today. We're going to run a new feature, the ball and the goal. Alright. And we're going to take some questions over here. We're going to ask how can we help the man on the street get to the next level of their lives. Okay, so we have a little bit of a first question we have right now, and it is actually over here. It says that how much do I really need to retire? So I'm going to answer from a perspective of more senior crowd. Melvin over here is going to answer in terms of his perspective of how other people, younger generations would view retirement. So, okay, have you actually considered retirement yet? Or retirement figures yet?
Actually, I've not considered of retirement yet because I run business now and business have no retirement. But, okay, I do have concern where I need to set aside a great amount of funds so that I can have my family to live comfortably, even though if anything such I'm not around.
So in your opinion, like how much would you need for a safety net or retirement?
So for me currently, I would say for me, the ability I have to create wealth right now, I would say a good figure for me is anyway from 5 million to 6 million, that kind of range for me to set aside. So that you know, as a younger generation right now, our spending is not as like the people like my mom and dad generation. They are more saving, you know, they control their budget very well. We are more luxurious nowadays as a younger crowd. So for me to grow my kids, okay, I have 2 kids right now. Okay, so for them to go to college are more expensive right now compared to the past. Right, so I have to anticipate all this fun inside, so that I can allow them to live a comfortable life.
So I'm going to ask you the next question right now, okay? Do you have any idea how you're going to get your 5 to 6 million right now? Do you have a plan for that?
Yes, well, now I'm doing currently 2 things that I'm doing very well.
Okay.
So one thing is, thanks to Dato, I've invested in a lot of properties.
Okay.
And these properties has given me a lot of passive income. And that's actually how it helped me in my business as well. Because of properties, I also run an Airbnb business, right? A short stay business. That we go into running small events for companies, right? And it has been a great year this year, actually, having a lot of events here and there.
So your way of doing it is probably through investments and also for business itself.
Yes.
Okay, so if you look into a young adult at the moment, yeah, what would you recommend them do, right? In order for them to build their nest egg and their retirement funds?
Okay, so I would say all we have, okay, everyone we have 24 hours. That's as much as we can do with both our hands, right? So if you're a young adult right now and you're not having any investment right now, there's something which is, to me, is quite critical, where you have not planned ahead. If anything were, let's say you were sick, right, for a month, do you have any extra income for that, right? So I think it's good for the young people right now to build investment income, so that they can have a safety net, so that if anything happens, the investment can still to help them live their life with their spending and expenses and all that.
Okay, so you're saying that a young person you recommend them to invest?
Yes, I was. What
would you recommend them to invest into?
Of course, I don't believe in single investment asset, right? I will see where you are standing right now. So if you now have, let's say you have no capital, then we need to learn how to leverage. So the first thing I will ask you, maybe you can invest into properties, because property can allow you to leverage. But if you already have certain savings and funds, maybe you can look into stock, share market, right? Or maybe,
but don't you think that when you do properties, it'll take a lot of money?
Not as what I've learned. Because of Dato Michael, I've learned no money down. So no money down allow me to buy property without using my own money. And that really helped me a lot when I'm at the worst time of my life, when I met Dato 4 years ago. Right.
So that means you're telling people right now you can buy properties without using any money.
And literally, if you can do it well, you can do it as well.
Okay, so and wouldn't that mean that you get a lot of debt or a lot of loans on the banks?
Yes, a lot of people might be afraid that you have a lot of loan, there's a lot of installment and all that. But through No Money Down that I've learned, there's a system in place so that you can have your rental income are more than your installment. So that every month you have positive income after you net off your installment and not having to pay out extra money for installment every single month. And that's how it enables me to invest into a lot of property these 4 years.
So now, for a young person that does this right now, I mean, like I would say, how much income would they need in order for them to get started in buying properties or property investment?
I think anyway from 2,000 to
2,000
5,000.
can start already, man. How much can they buy for $2,000 salary?
You can start low. You can buy into low cost, right? 70,000, 80,000, 100,000. You can start there. But if you say a comfortable amount for you to invest in the current market right now, you can go for a property around 3 to 500,000. That's a very good range. And if you're going for that, then maybe you need income about 3 to 4K, right?
So you're telling me a person that earns $3,000 to $4,000 can get a $300,000 property?
Yeah.
To $500,000 property. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be something that is, I think, achievable for a lot of people.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, then let's say, for example, if a person is starting on this journey right now, how many properties would you recommend this person to get?
Well, if you do it well, if you plan it nice and well, right, I think you can buy around 2 properties a year.
2 properties a year?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit too aggressive?
Well, if you plan it nicely and if you have positive income.
What do you mean by planning it nicely then?
Well, there's a lot of skills need to be learned or get to know before you can invest into properties. When I say plan properly, all right, I mean like in order for you to get loan over again, right, over and over again, you need to control your finance. You need to know how to maintain your financial, right? When you have more properties, you need to prove that you have more income as well. So that once you prove you have more income and more capability, then to the bank, like you are a creditable person, so that they will lend you loans again.
How do you increase your income then?
By having your income, right?
Okay.
Of course, your working income, right?
Okay.
Plus your rental income, and that's going to enable you to get more income every time you buy a property.
Okay, so what you mean is that, let's say for example, a person wants to go into investments right now, especially into properties, they need to know how to balance themselves. They don't want to just buy properties and not get the rentals coming in and stuff like that.
And I see a lot of people come to me, and ask me, I have this property cannot rent out. I have this property rent out, the rental is very low. Okay. Right? And they try to ask me for help. What happened to them in the beginning is that they don't have a system to invest into properties, and then just listen to property agent and sometimes, right? And then just buy into the property, expecting you just definitely go up like that and make money out of that thing. Okay. And a lot of that neglect that they need a good strategy to invest so that they can make money out of it. Okay. All right. So now I have my point. Okay. May I ask, in your opinion, what is the retirement funds that you are looking into?
I think that I'm going to come from a different perspective over here. I would say take the number 200. So 200 for me is a factor for 6%, right? I'm going to be very conservative over here by saying, okay, let's look for investments that can give you 6%, rental yields that give you 6%, stocks that can give you dividends of 6% or more. Right, so let's take the 6%. So 6% is 200. So let's say, for example, you want to make 5,000 a month. 5,000 times 200 makes you 1 million. If you want to make 10,000 a month, right, or you want to receive 10,000 a month times 200, okay, that makes you 2 million. So it really depends on how much returns or passive income you want coming in every single month. So I would say that for a normal individual, if you have the next 20 years to come ahead, and now with inflation coming in, I would say around 10,000 would be the bare minimum for a person to actually have to come in every month. So they will need to look for investments that can get them 6%. So if we use the factor of 200, that means 200 times 10,000, you need at least $2 million. Right, in terms of any type of assets or even cash money, they can park into an asset that gives you 6% returns. So this would be something I would tell to most people. And so actually what I'm saying is pretty much the same. I feel that a lot of Malaysians, and we're talking about ringgit Malaysia here, so I think a lot of Malaysians don't understand the fact that $1 million ringgit nowadays is very cheap. Agree or not?
Of course.
Right? I think that $1 million doesn't go very far. And then you ask yourself, if a person is actually making only 5,000, 10,000 a month, how much does the person have to save in order for them to achieve $1 million? I mean, if they don't buy properties and stuff like that, they would not be able to achieve that kind of figures, right? So this is the part where I feel, yes, the sad fact is this. I think in order for you to retire comfortably or even safely in Malaysia, the bare minimum is I think about 2 million. Right. Okay, 6 million, 5 million, I think it would be a good figure. And I agree with Melvin. And the thing is this, I come from a perspective where my kids are already quite old, and they're already going to college. But if you are young right now and you haven't got married yet or just got married, you haven't got your properties yet, you still want to have your holidays, you still want to get your nice car or at least a decent car, right? You have 2 kids, you want to make sure they have education. Then you top that all up. Okay, 2 million is for me personally, but then for my wife, another 2 million. For my kids, 1 million each or 2 million each. That's going to come up to about 6 million to 8 million. Yeah. So I totally agree with where Melvin is coming from. And it's very good for you to actually plan ahead of time. I think that for those of you who are watching, and if you are of a certain age, if you're below 35, you're planning to have a family, listen to what Melvin has to say, right? That's going to be very important, right? If you're already kind of moving towards retirement, your kids are taken care of, you already got your house, your spouse is also doing quite well, then 2 million bare minimum for yourself, I think it's a bare necessity. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're done for today's session over here. If you like what we've shared over here for the ball and the goal, so if you like our first session over here, please click down below, like, right? Subscribe to us as well. And do also drop in comments and ask more questions, because the goal of this is this. Everybody over there, I know a lot of you guys are looking for solutions to your life, financial solutions, financial answers, and do challenge us, ask us those questions, be more critical about it so we can actually go out there to help you answer them and maybe give you the best ideas and solutions moving forward so you can have your wealth you deserve in your life. Alright, so to the next episode, see ya.
Bye.